Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to start a new chapter, Economic Importance of Bacteria and Fungi. You all know, children, these bacteria and fungi, they are the microorganisms and they help in the decomposition of organic matter. So here is a short introduction about bacteria and fungi. Bacteria are the most primitive, simplest, unicellular, and the smallest microscopic organisms. So, these bacteria are the primitive, simplest, and unicellular microscopic organisms. A.V. Leeuwenhoek, that is Anton van Leeuwenhoek, first of all observed bacteria in 1676. So, bacteria were observed for the first time by A.V. Leeuwenhoek in 1676. He called them little animalcules. In 1838, these little animalcules were given the name bacteria. So he called them by the name animalcules, and in 1838, these little animalcules were called by the name of bacteria. By Ehrenberg, Louis Pasteur, Robert Koch, and Naegeli became keenly interested in bacteria and showed that they are the causative agents of certain diseases, putrefaction and fermentation. Later on, children, all these scientists, they were keenly interested in studying about bacteria, and they found that these bacteria, they are the causative agents of certain diseases, putrefaction and fermentation. Now, fungi, as you know, children, fungi is a large kingdom and there are many species of fungi. They are cosmopolitan in distribution. That means they are found everywhere, in air, water, everywhere. They are cosmopolitan. They are found in air, water, soil, over and inside the animals and plants. Fungi includes diverse organisms ranging from simple yeast to highly complex mushrooms. So children, these fungi, they are found everywhere in air, water, soil, in the rivers, lakes, everywhere you can find. And you can find this fungi as simple yeast, unicellular, and they are complex mushrooms, or complex means they are also unicellular and multicellular both. They are either parasites or saprophytes. So these fungi are parasites. Parasites means they live on the living organisms, and saprophytes means they live on dead and decaying organic matter. So parasites cause diseases in animals and plants, as the parasites are those which live on the host. They derive their nutrition from the host. So these parasites, they cause diseases in animals and plants. And saprophyte fungi obtain their organic food from the dead and decaying organic matter. And saprophytic fungi, they obtain their foods from the dead and decaying organic matter. Saprophytic fungi, along with bacteria, function as the main decomposers of organic remains. As I told you before, that these fungi means not the parasitic but the saprophytic fungi and the bacteria both act as the decomposers, and they decomposes the organic matter. They are essential for recycling of inorganic resources in the biosphere. And both these microorganisms, that is bacteria and fungi, they are essential for the recycling of the inorganic resources in the biosphere. However, saprotrophs spoil our food also. So saprophytic fungus, they spoil our food also. So here we start with the economic importance of bacteria. A layman always considers bacteria as a harmful and disease-causing organism. See children, we all know that bacteria, as we have learned till now, that bacteria causes diseases and in very different types of diseases in organisms. But bacteria are very intimately connected with our lives, both in useful as well as harmful ways. So these bacteria, they are not only harmful, but they are useful to human beings also. The various useful and harmful bacterial activities may be summarized as follows. So now we will study about the useful and harmful activities of bacteria. So we will first learn about the useful activities of bacteria. Bacteria in medicine. Now we will see the uses of bacteria in medicine, how these bacteria are useful in medicine. No doubt, bacteria are responsible for several fatal diseases, but they have also been exploited by the scientists to produce certain life saving drugs which control bacterial infections. These drugs include, see children, we know that bacteria causes very harmful diseases, fatal diseases, but they also produce some life saving drugs which controls the bacterial infection. Now these drugs are antibiotics. So bacteria produce antibiotics which kills the bacterial infection. Certain filamentous bacteria, actinomycetes, secrete some organic substances. These check the growth of many other microorganisms. So bacteria are of different shapes and size. So these filamentous bacteria, that is actinomycetes, they secrete some organic substance, and this organic substance checks the growth of many other microorganisms. That means this organic substance kill other microorganisms. Such substances are called antibiotics. So this organic substance which is secreted by actinomycetes is antibiotic, and this antibiotic checks or kills the growth of other microorganisms and have been proved extremely useful in curing many infectious diseases. So these antibiotics which is produced by certain bacteria, they are useful in curing many infectious diseases. Some of the wonder antibiotics and bacteria producing them are. So children, you have to learn some of the names of the wonder antibiotics which are produced by these bacteria. Streptomycin, that is produced by the bacteria Streptomyces gracis. Tetracycline, produced by Streptomyces aureofaciens. Terramycin, these are the antibiotics, and these are the bacteria which produce these antibiotics. Terramycin, Streptomyces ramosis, erythromycin, Streptomyces erythrus, chloromycetin, Streptomyces venezuelae, then bacteriacin, that is Bacillus licheniformis. So these are the bacteria which produces these antibiotics. So children, you learn the names of some of the antibiotics which are produced by bacteria. Second, vaccines are also produced from the bacteria. The heat-killed diluted suspension of pathogenic bacteria of a specific disease is called vaccine. So vaccine is nothing else but it is a heat-killed diluted suspension of some harmful bacteria of a particular kind of disease. That is a specific disease, and that is called as vaccine. When injected into the body of a healthy person, these vaccines make the body resistant. So when these vaccines which are prepared from the bacteria, that means either these bacteria are killed or their activities are weakened, and when they are injected in the body of a healthy person, these vaccines, they makes the body resistant, or they make the body immune to fight immune to that particular kind of disease. The body gets stimulated to produce antitoxins which provide immunity against any future attack of the particular disease. So the vaccine which we have taken for that specific disease produces antitoxins or antibodies in our body, which produces immunity, or which provides us with immunity against any future attack of that particular kind of disease. So when after taking the vaccine, our body becomes immune to fight against that kind of disease. Vaccines obtained by growing bacteria are as follows. So vaccines which are produced by the bacteria are as follows. First one is living weakened bacteria. Living weakened bacteria means the bacteria whose activities are weakened or reduced, but they are living. So such vaccines from such bacteria which are living and weakened, we get the vaccine BCG for tuberculosis. So BCG vaccine is produced from living weakened bacteria and it is used to cure the disease tuberculosis. Understood, children? Now, second is killed bacteria. So vaccines which are produced from the killed bacteria is TAB vaccine. TAB vaccine, and this vaccine is used to cure typhoid. So children, have you understood now? So these vaccines which are produced from living weakened bacteria is BCG vaccine, which is used to cure tuberculosis, and the vaccine which is produced from killed bacteria, that is the TAB vaccine for typhoid. So children, you have to learn the names of the vaccines which are produced by the killed bacteria and the living weakened bacteria. Now the serum. The third thing, or bacteria in medicine, we are studying about the bacteria in medicine. So serum, it is the plasma preparation having specific antibodies or antitoxins from the blood of certain mammals such as horse, monkeys, etc. Now, serum is nothing but it is prepared from the plasma which contains some specific antibodies or antitoxins. So children, here in this, what happens, this either these vaccines are injected in the bodies of the animals, and the bodies of these blood of these animals, they produces the antibodies or antitoxin against that kind of disease. And once the antibody is prepared in the animals, from them the plasma serum is taken out. That means that is a plasma preparation. So when a serum containing that particular antibodies or antitoxins is injected into the body of a patient, it helps to cure a particular disease. So sera are used as a preventive measures against bacterial invasion. So children, what happens? Suppose a vaccine of a particular kind of disease is injected in the body of animals like horse and monkeys. Now the body of horse and monkeys will produce antibodies or antitoxins against that disease. Now from their body, now the serum is taken out. From that serum, antibodies or antitoxin is injected into the when a serum containing particular antibodies or antitoxins, now that plasma we have taken out, and that serum which contains the antibodies or antitoxins are injected in the body of the patient, it helps to cure that disease. Sera are used as a preventive measures against the bacterial invasion. So these serums are used against the bacterial invasions. Now next is the synthesis of vitamin B. A host of certain bacteria such as E. coli live in the intestine of man and other vertebrates as symbionts. We know, children, many bacteria, they live in the intestine of human beings and animals. They live as symbionts. Symbionts means they are mutually benefited. The host is also benefited and that parasite is also benefited. So children, bacteria E. coli help in the synthesis of vitamins, especially B complex. So, bacteria, E. coli helps in the synthesis, which live in our intestine, helps in the synthesis of B complex, that is B1, B2 and B12, vitamin K and vitamin K also. So, children, this is all about the usefulness of bacteria in medicine. Thank you.